couple of years down the road, you awaken from another, I'm not going to call it a nightmare, and I don't even know if it's necessarily an unsettling dream, but you keep having this like weird recurring dream. It's very it's very atmospheric and light on details, but the main thing that you remember in this dream is that there's like a you're in the woods and there's a man walking towards you. And it's one of those things where it's almost like you're watching a movie. It's from your point of view, like from your eyes, but like it's like you're watching a film or something, you know? And this guy is walking towards you, and when he gets closer to you, you realize that he's not just a man, he's a centaur. And
What
and like the trees you notice are like kind of like bowing like down to him and stuff.
the fuck?
And he goes, and in the dream he says to you, "Soon, Aaron." And then like you wake up and you're like, "What?"
What do you
And
mean?
that's just the dream. And you've it's happened a bunch of times to you. And sometimes it's like the misty morning. Sometimes it's you're in it late at night. Sometimes it's middle of the day. You never really know. And it's not like you dream it every single night. It's more like it's almost like you forget that you dream it. And when you forget, then you have a new one. You
So
don't
this
dream of it.
dream is just like constantly keeping me on my fucking toes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that if you think about the dream, you don't have it. So you've kind of experimented between like not thinking about it, and then by the time you finally forget about it, like a few weeks later, like it comes back, you know, or you've experimented um, with thinking about it all the time, and you're not really certain which one is better. But anyway, so you wake up, and even though you've been having this strange dream about like the centaur of the woods, I guess you are in a good mood because you were kind of going through a lot of stress there for a second. And I'm sorry to tell you.
What do you mean?
So you started your own business where it was a pen pal thing where you were like, I'll be your pen pal. And also I'll help facilitate future pen pals for a price. And
What?
so a few years down the road, being doing like old school pen pal letter writing has come back in vogue. It's definitely still, you know, kind of like a fringe thing, but people are finding new, you know, romantic joys at writing by hand. Some people do it by candlelight. Some people don't go that far, but some people do. And so you are doing this business and you're supposed to like that like you can't like you're finding that it's kind of a stressful business being a pen pal. You call yourself the pen pal pimp because you kind of, you know, arrange these different things. And
No. The
it's hard
pen
out.
pal pimp?
Yeah, and on your website it says it's hard out here for a pimp. And then there's like a picture of you.
God, this sucks.
You're wearing like a
What?
backwards baseball cap.
Come on. I'm not a hat guy.
I mean, you're not, but the pen pal pimp is. And so you're connecting people with other people. You are responding sometimes yourself. You don't have, you know, that many clients. And so at first you just start like replying to some people, like you're just pretending to be other people who aren't real and don't exist. And you build, you know, like you don't expect this, but you end up like building relationships with these people. Not I'm not saying like romantic ones, but you know, you it's still having a pen pal is still a relationship, you know, of sorts. A
Yeah.
relationship by the pen. And so
So unsettling.
it just got really stressful for you there because it was hard for you to keep. You had to like eventually you make a chart of this, but it was hard to keep track of like who's talking to who. Like who am I? You know, who am I here? Like that movie, The Stepfather. Did you see that movie?
No.
It's very good. Anyway, so that was pretty stressful. You were also accused of murder, so that was a little
What?
stressful
Why the fuck are you leading with that?
because the pen pal thing happened first. So I'm
That
not going to say so you weren't
that is more
accused.
important than any ode to chronology. Like, why aren't you leading with the fact that I was accused of murder?
Well, so I'm not going to say that you were accused. I guess I misspoke. What I mean is that you were like suspected, but they were going to
How?
arrest you. So what happened was, so you went to a live play of Carrie, the Stephen King book that was turned into a movie with, I
They got a
believe,
show
Sissy.
coming out.
I heard that actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
how I feel about it. Yeah, I like it when I don't know much about the mom or whatever. But anyway,
Is it
so
Mike Flanagan? I don't know.
oh, okay. If it's his, then I'll probably watch it anyway. It doesn't really matter, I
Yeah,
guess. But
yeah.
so what happened was, and it was kind of weird because that summer you were reading a lot of Stephen King, and
Any
so
particular reason or
just for like nostalgia reasons,
sure. I
you
grew up
found
reading
out.
Stephen King. Yeah.
Of course, you found out that the librarian back in Dupo, the one that turned you on to Stephen King, recently died. And so you've been in kind of
She
like a,
did actually.
yeah, you've been in kind of like a contemplative mood.
Didn't affect me at all.
Mary Jo Robbins, librarian. And so you kind of like, it's not like you guys kept in touch or it's not like you thought about her a lot. It's just more that you go like, wow, this person that introduced me to something that later on became so important to me is gone now. And if they had died before I ever met her, who knows? So it's not like you're sad. It's more like you're just sort of like contemplative.
Sure.
You're pretty sure one time she was able to reach you through your dreams, but only for a few seconds.
What do you fucking mean? She was able to reach me.
So what happened was you didn't know she died. You were falling asleep. Um, you had earlier that night, you had taken a pretty intense amount of sleepy time tea. So you were like about to fucking snooze. You barely get on your like Victorian era men's pajama set before
Come
you fall
on.
into you fall into bed. And in the dream, you're the librarian, Mary Jo Robbins. Uh, she is like in the dream. You're sitting in a library, and the library has no books on the shelves. They're completely empty. There's only one single book, but it's too far away for you to make out like on its spine. Like you can't read what it is or anything. And you're like, huh. And then you turn, and she's standing there in your dream, and
Jesus
um,
Christ.
and she has really, really, for some reason in this dream, her hair is really long and it's dripping wet. And at first, you think she's wearing like makeup or something, but you realize like no, it's like blood coming out of her eye.
Jesus Christ.
And she goes, "Aaron." And you wake up and you're like, well, that was fucking weird. And then you find out a few days later that she had died, and you do the math and you realize like it was the same day that you had that dream of her. And you're like, oh my God. And you tell everyone.
I'm not telling a fucking soul. I'm not telling anybody about this fucking dream.
There's something about it though that you're just like, I have to just tell people about this because you're like, isn't this crazy? This weird paranormal experience that I had? And you tell everyone. The only thing that you change is that in your dream you have a really big hog, is what you tell people. Other than
You,
that, you're very faithful to the. You're like, yeah, I had this crazy dream. I had like a really big hog, and then I was sitting in like the library for some reason, and then this dead librarian showed up, and but she was kind of casual about it. It was very strange, and You slip in the fact that you, in your dreams, you have a big hog.
Whatever. Why am I
So,
doing this?
what do you mean?
I don't feel the need to tell people that.
Well, you just feel like emotionally affected by the death of this woman who, again,
But why am I
she,
talking? I mean the hog thing, Pat.
oh, the hog thing. I don't know. You just think it's cool, I guess. So you are, you have like these strange emotions about it. And so you go to watch this live production of Carrie. It's actually being put on by a local high school. You drove past it. It's called, okay, so it's called Mega High School. It's the biggest high school in America. You know how sometimes there's this thing where it's like, oh yeah, the third floor has a pool. This one fucking does.
Friend of the
It has
show,
a
Mike Barker, went to the
yep.
biggest high school in America.
Well, this high school makes the one that Mike Barker went to look like a fucking shack, and he should be ashamed of himself.
I'll
So
let him know.
you drove past, and you saw a sign that was like tonight at 8, Carrie by Stephen King. And so you're like, huh. And you were in drama. You did plays in high school, right?
I mean, yeah, look at me.
And so you're feeling, like I said, nostalgic. And this is like a double dose of nostalgia. And so you're like, you know what? I'm going to go to this. And so you check it out, and it's a high school production. But it is at the biggest high school in America, and so they have a little bit of money to put into it. So it's actually, and I guess they've grown leaps and bounds in stage tech since you've been in the game. So you're enjoying it as someone who just likes to watch plays, but you're also enjoying it as someone who's been on the inside. So there's the only weird thing that they do is that one thing that that they do afterward is that if you want, they'll do it like a bit where if you don't you can if you donate money to the drama club at their school, Mega High School, you get they will like take a picture of you getting like blood dumped on you for the gram
But why would I do that?
because it looks cool. And so you do donate. You put in $5. They're like, even though it's like a really big high school, the people who you give it to, they're like, it's like they've never seen a $5 bill before. They're like, holy shit, what is
Well,
this?
because it's such a large denomination. Is that what you're saying? Because it's
No,
bigger.
they're used to like 20s and stuff. They're not like mad. They're just like, oh, this is cool. They're like, it's kind of like when you find an old phone that's like an old rotary phone. It's kind of like that for them. And so you're covered in like blood, and you walked, you parked or whatever, and the cops saw you, and they thought your neighbor was like murdered that night.
That night?
Yeah, she was.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they made her choke on fake blood, and so you were covered in fake blood. So they were like, "What the fuck?" And so even though you're like, guys, I got this at this fucking like play that I just went to. I have a photograph like in my car if you'll allow me to get it. Even though you're cleared, those fucking cops, they to this day think that you did it. They're like, maybe he has an explanation for the fake blood thing, but detective, his name is people call him Baba O'Reilly, Officer Baba O'Reilly. Baba because he's a grandfather, and his grandkid Seamus calls him Baba. So Baba O'Reilly, and the other cop is named. He's also his last name also is O'Reilly.
What?
Yeah, but like no, but like he just goes excuse me, he just goes by O'Reilly. So it's Baba O'Reilly and O'Reilly. And so they're like I can't get it. Like they spend so many nights staying up till 6 a.m. just fucking drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes, being like, that fucking Aaron kid is dirty. I know it. And you're like, yeah, man, I know it too. There's an explanation. He says there's an explanation. We see the proof, but maybe it's not because of that. There's just something about you that just rubs these guys the wrong way.
These
So
guys,
that
I'm showing them proof. I have a fucking alibi.
so they're like, yeah, maybe he has got an alibi, an airtight alibi, but there's something about him that
Well,
we
fuck them.
just don't trust. So that was
Fuck
kind of
them.
stressful. But you are feeling pretty okay these days. The stress is gone, baby. Excuse me. You're actually you recently sold a screenplay to Lanalax Pictures. There's a guy, his name is Mr. Cool. He's like he looks like he's like 8 feet tall. He's got really long, fine string like hair. Excuse me. That's so blonde that when the sun hits it at the correct angle, you can see galaxies.
I never get that.
What do you
Collections of
mean?
stars, galaxies.
Yeah, like his hair like sparkles, and you're like, it's a little weird, but I mean, he's a nice, okay enough guy. He's really tall, so that's kind of you don't really like that either, but he's a pretty good guy to work with. He's the head of like Lanalax, like their movies division stuff like that. So you sold a screenplay based on a series of books that you've written. It's about time travel. It's about like this guy who travels through time, and he rights wrongs and stuff like that. Sometimes he'll travel, you know, back in time. For some reason, the furthest back that he can go is the year. This is the year 69.
That's it.
Yeah, his name is Tim Travels, and so you have
That
sold
sucks.
you sold a screenplay
I
about
fucking
the
hate Tim Travels, the time traveler.
you know
It's the worst name in the history. I mean, Tim Travels.
Tim Travels. You named him that because he travels through time.
Yeah, Pat.
So, so the screenplay, the title that you give it, it's called Tim Travels and the Crazy Adventures of Time. And they're like, yeah, we love this screenplay. They go, I mean, this is clearly a working title, so we'll probably change it, but yeah, this is great. And you're like, oh yeah, it's definitely a working title. But in your head, you're like, oh man. So you're doing, kind of okay. You've made enough money on this screenplay that you're actually able to try something new, something that you've always wanted to do, but you just never either had the time or perhaps even the inclination to do it. The stars never quite came together. Not unlike the stars and galaxies that you see in the hair of Mr. Cool. You have become
I
a backyard wrestler.
don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to be a goddamn backyard wrestler.
You're a manager. You're a guy who you do have to take some bumps and stuff, but you mostly are on the mic, talking shit and being weird to the referee, causing problems. You're part
I
of
don't want
a
to
group.
do that. I don't want
Why? Why not? It would
any
be kind of
any
cool.
fucking part of that
Why?
because that's just not what I want to do. I don't want to fucking take bumps. I don't want to devote the time and energy and effort it would require to be good at it. Like I don't want to fucking do that.
You went to one of their shows. And it just ignited something in you, something that
Eh,
you didn't know was there, a deep love for backyard wrestling. It was either that or get really good at laser tag. And after a very hard night of the soul, a long night of the soul, I guess I should say, you chose backyard wrestler.
that's what a fucking joke. I don't want to be a goddamn backyard. I don't want to be a
So you joined. There's like this local group, a wrestling league. They're called the Backyard Boys, and the Backyard Boys, their whole thing is most of it is very tongue in cheek. In fact, the whole thing is, except on Saturday mornings. Saturday mornings are for like the kids, and but it's all like it's like live, so that people bring their kids out to it. So those are a bit more, good guy versus bad guy, type of thing. The stable that you're in, you guys, it's you and like these two other dudes. There's a guy who's called the Midnight Madman.
I consider this being a part of a stable.
Yeah, so there's the Midnight Madman. There's the Midnight Gambler, and you're the Midnight Lover, and you guys are called the Sons of Midnight. And your guys' whole thing is, you guys you only appear at night, even though you sometimes the sun is still out when you guys are doing it. It's never explained, but you guys only come out at night, and you're there to like terrorize the wrestlers because you guys are like kind of supernatural almost. And so
Fucking
the sun,
midnight lover.
yeah, the Midnight Lover. Because your whole thing is that you're a manager, you're not a fighter, even though you do cause a lot of physical pain. Your character does. Your whole thing is you have what you call your bag of tricks, and it's a Jansport backpack, and you pull different things from there that you use as weapons. One of the things is
Yeah,
because
and I call it my bag of tricks.
your bag, yeah, bag of tricks. One of the things you do because you're the Midnight Lover is one of the things that you pull out. They're chocolate shaped like hearts, so you throw them at people and stuff. One guy's character is diabetic, so when you throw it at him, he'll always catch it in his mouth, and then he'll go like, "Oh," and go into like diabetic shock or whatever.
The
But if you,
diabetic delirium.
yeah, I was gonna say, but if he eats one more, it turns into diabetic delirium. So his
Oh
his
fuck.
moves, the diabetic delirium is
That's an advanced condition.
yeah. And it's like his super move. It's like his thing where it's like hulking up. You know what I mean? Where he just somehow like, and the guy is actually a good actor. He seems bigger when he goes through diabetic delirium. It doesn't, it saps his strength, but he's able to deal a lot of damage, and he's able to absorb a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. But it better be that's like, if he doesn't finish you with that, he's going to be done pretty soon.
Spent.
Yeah.
All tuckered out.
All tuckered out. So, so you guys, you're working with these guys, with the Backyard Boys, and it is a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun, especially because the thing that you do on Saturday mornings is you do a slightly less risque version of the show for kids. It's at like an after school center in a, I'm not going to say necessarily like a bad part of town, more of like a strange part of town. It's called Monster Island. Monster Island is an island, or off of the coast of LA, and people swore that it didn't show up until like 1998 or something. But they're like, no, we've been here this whole time.
This makes no fucking sense.
What do you mean?
That just shows up. This
Yeah, it just
new
appears. And so you guys are, a lot of these people, a lot of the kids are like, economically, disadvantaged and stuff. And you guys perform at the after school center and like the gym, and what's made to look like a gym or whatever. So you're feeling pretty good that day because you're not stressed at all. In fact, due to the success of your screenplay about Tim Travels, they liked it so much that they already commissioned a second script, and you're going to call it Tim Travels 2. Keep on traveling.
Oh, keep on traveling.
Yeah,
Tim
with
Travels sucks
with
so
the
bad.
with the exclamation point.
Of course.
So so you go there that morning. You're like, hell yeah, this is gonna rule. Because you really like the backyard boys. You know, they all come from different walks of life. They're all people that you're. It's kind of like doing stand up, where it's people that you're like, I never would have met these people if not for this thing that I do. You know, being the midnight lover. And so you guys go out there. It's called the After School Center for the Economically Disadvantaged.
Jesus Christ. Just putting it
It's
out there.
so you go to the After School Center for the Economically Disadvantaged. That's Saturday morning, ready to fucking go. You're ready to run through a wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Midnight Lover.
But when you get there, everyone's outside. And you're like, huh? And you walk up and you're like, what's going on? And the after school center has been padlocked. And you're like, what? What's happening? And there's a girl who works there um, that you just have like the biggest crush on. And her name,
Why? How do I know this woman outside of this context? Like,
because she works there and she works with kids and, you know, you guys talk and stuff. And sometimes you go back and forth on whether or not she has a thing for you or not, but you have like a crush on her, you know? Her name
right.
is, her name is Gina. Gina Loveman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Curly brown hair, deceivingly large glasses. So she's like, Aaron, thank God you're here. She's like, you're not going to believe this. They're closing down the after school center.
It's fucked up, man.
She's like, yeah, I guess we're not making enough money here. And she's like, I can't believe that this is happening. And then she's like, Aaron, they're gonna knock this down and they're gonna replace it with a tanning salon for the rich. All the kids are crying.
What?
She- And she's like, I mean, she's like, we're sunk. There's no way we can earn enough money to buy this back. She's like, yeah, and then one of the kids is like, yeah, but what about the other thing they said? She's like, oh, no, Mr. Aaron doesn't want to hear about that. And then you're like, well, what? What's going on? And she says that the group that is looking to buy the after school center and knock it down, um, it's this family called they're called the Bad Family. Bade.
Bad.
They're really, really rich. And their thing is they just buy community centers or after school care things, stuff like that, and they just knock it down and they put up one of their tanning salon businesses.
They specifically target buildings that are meant to help children after school in low
Uh-huh.
income areas.
Yes.
That
It's their thing.
sucks.
Yeah. And so you're just hopping mad. And they go, and she goes, all right, well, what they said was if one of you can can defeat the their oldest son, who's like a wrestling expert, basically. They're like, if you can pin him, they'll give it back. But we couldn't ask you to do that, Aaron.
Somebody else should fucking do it. I'm not even a wrestler. Ask and literally anybody else that is part of this thing. I'm not even a
So,
fucking wrestler.
so you're the first one there. And so she like looks at you and she kind of like, I'm not gonna say that she like bats her eyes at you, but like she kind of does.
I'm not gonna fall for that shit. I've been hurt too much in my life to fall for that shit. No, I'm gonna wait for an actual wrestler to get there, and we'll arrange that. I'm not
Sure.
gonna fall for. You can't bat your lashes at me, and I'm too cynical for that.
She
That
gets a
doesn't
phone
work with me.
call. She gets a phone call, and like right before like you don't realize when she started to do this, but she is like ever so slightly
No, no,
biting
dude.
down on
God
her
damn it!
lower
You did
lip
it.
for
Ah,
just a second. It's almost like she sees you for the first time, and she gets a phone call, and she's like, "Hello." She's like, "Holy shit, are you sure? That's crazy." And she hangs up, and she's like, they all they all died in a plane crash." She's like, "It's only you, Aaron."
you wait. Everybody in the wrestling promotion died in a plane crash.
Yeah, separate planes.
Pat,
So she's like, she looks up and
I'm
she goes,
I'm gonna be overcome with grief. I'm not gonna be in a state to wrestle this child.
"Yeah," but
I don't
he's
want to
like,
wrestle this kid. I don't want any part of this. Everybody that I did this for just died in a fucking plane crash. Everybody.
all of them.
This has to be the darkest day in the history of the FAA. If there were like 20 separate plane crashes on the same day.
Yeah, there were so many. And so she's like, she looks at you and she goes, "Look, Aaron, I know you're not really a wrestler. I know that you're a manager." She goes, "But the kids need this now more than ever."
No, no, I'm not a wrestler. I'm not going to go get fucking hurt on a fool's errand. Like,
So,
what happens next time?
right. And so you're like, you're about to say all that, but then from like behind you, you hear, "Oh, you must be Aaron Brooks, the big time wrestler."
I'm not even a fucking wrestler, dude.
You,
I'm a
you turn around,
valet. I'm the
you turn
midnight
around,
lover, not the midnight fighter.
you turn around, and standing there is this like he appears to be like an 18-year-old kid. And he's like, "All right, Brooks, you and me, you can pin me, then I'll just give back your shitty little after school center."
Fine,
She goes, "You can't talk to him like that."
fine.
She like screams it, and you're like, "Whoa." And then she looks like kind of embarrassed, but like she also looks like she's glad she did it.
Come on. I say, kid, how old are you?
He goes,
You pipsqueak.
and the whole crowd goes, "Oh," because he's pretty jacked.
Great.
He's like 18 years old. He goes, "I'm 18. How old are you?"
Old,
55. Everyone laughs.
old enough to whip your ass.
And the
Get
whole
get in the ring.
crowd goes crazy. So they play the gun like as you walk up to the ring, they're playing that Guns N' Roses song where it goes, "Get in the ring, get in the ring," and like everyone's going crazy.
Great.
You get into the ring. He gets into. He looks at you and he goes, "I'm gonna enjoy this, you fucking dick." And then and you look at him and you just go, "Ring the damn bell."
I would try to kick him in the genitals immediately.
Yeah,
Like I'm swinging as hard as I can. I'm gonna kick him in
yeah.
the balls instantly.
So she hits the bell and like she looks over her shoulder at you right before she does it, and she mouths the words, "Kick his ass." And you're like, and you go, I will, babe.
Oh, come on. I don't call
Because
her
you're kind of,
babe.
you're in character. You're the Midnight Lover, and
Fine.
like you shout that at her across the ring, and she blushes a shade of purple red. That first second reminds you of like freshly plucked grapes.
Yeah.
And after she's done blushing, like when she kind of goes back to normal, she's even more beautiful than before.
God damn.
And so she hits the ring, or she hits the bell, and you guys just like run towards each other, and he's like, "Here we go," and you just rear back and kick him right in his fucking balls.
Good. I lean down and I say, rule number one of wrestling, always defend yourself. And then I pin his ass.
So you get on top of him. There's a ref there. Like you didn't even see like where this guy came from, but he goes 1, 2, 3, and like everyone's like freaking out. And the ref like does a thing where he puts your arm up in the air.
Yeah.
He gets a text. He looks down. He sees the news about all like the dead wrestlers, and he's like, "Oh my god!" and starts like sobbing and leaves. She runs into the
That guy's
ring and
allowed to
like,
process his grief. I can't.
yeah, he didn't know. And so you like look over, you see her like rushing towards like the ring, and you're like, "Fuck yeah!" And you look down and you're like, "What would you say to the kid?" As like a
I
as
wouldn't
like a
say anything. He'd know. I already said my piece. I
right.
you know, yeah, I said it. Protect yourself.
You like walk away from him, and as you go to like step out of the ring, uh, these two like guys walk up to you, and they each are like the most broad chested men that you've ever seen in your fucking life, and they're wearing suits, and they walk up to you and they go, "Oh, hello, Mr. Brooks. We are the Gordon brothers, and we are lawyers for the Bad family. We'll see you in court." And you go like, "What?" And you look over, and they're like putting the kid on a like into into like an ambulance and like take him to like the hospital and shit. And you're like, "Huh. Well, that's a little weird, I guess." And then on the way to the hospital, the um, the ambulance crashes into a brick wall, and like everyone dies. You get
Jesus Christ.
you get sued, and you're held like criminally responsible for like all of their deaths.
No, that's not how that fucking works.
Plus you're fined $30,000 for kicking that guy in the balls really hard. You go to
That's
jail.
that's horseshit.
You go to jail, and you're like, "Wow, that was fucking." It happens like very, very quickly. The first night that you're in jail, you're like in your cell, and you're just staring at the ceiling, and uh, you're at like the top like of like your bunk or whatever because your bunkmate's on top, and he's this guy. His name is Handsome Bill on account of him being not physically attractive. And he goes, "You know what, Aaron? A lot of the stuff that you hear about jail really isn't true. Like we're just gonna like kind of hang out, and you get to read and watch TV, and it's really not that bad. You can write letters and stuff. Like I guess being a pen pal is kind of back in style now. So don't even worry about it, man." And you're about to say something, and then the top bunk breaks and it crushes you.
God damn it. You
This
fucking kidding me?
Handsome Bill is a big fucking guy, and
Great.
every
Whatever.
every bone in your body shatters.
Great. You fucking kidding me? What a terrible ending.
You die in jail.
Great. Fuck that.
They bury you in the jail cemetery.
Yeah.
It says, "Here lies Aaron Brooks." What a what a fucking jerk.
Fuck this.
It was a mistake. They didn't mean to actually type that, but
Yeah. Whatever. Who cares?